Welcome to this explainer. Let's just be totally honest for a second. There is absolutely nothing quite like the heartbreak of watching a beloved houseplant mysteriously wither away while you just stand there feeling totally helpless. It's the worst. But don't panic, because today we are launching a direct, foolproof mission to eradicate one of the most notorious indoor pests out there, spider mites. We're going to dive right into exactly how to identify and get rid of spider mites on your houseplants with a complete step-by-step guide.
So, take a deep breath. Here is our structured battle plan. First, we'll meet the tiny terrors. Then, we'll cover spotting the enemy. After that, we'll figure out why they're here, walk through your eradication battle plan, and finally, talk about preventing future invasions.
All right, Section 1, meet the tiny terrors. Let's understand your invisible enemy.
I want you to go look really closely at your plant collection. Are your plants suddenly losing their color? Because if you've noticed mysterious speckles or, this really delicate webbing on your favorite foliage, you are almost certainly dealing with our primary suspect. And the tricky thing is it happens so fast, and the signs are incredibly subtle at first glance.
Now, what's really fascinating, and honestly kind of terrifying, is that spider mites aren't insects at all. They're actually minuscule arachnids, making them relatives of spiders. They are barely visible to the naked eye, and they use these incredibly sharp mouth parts to pierce individual plant cells. They literally suck the life out of your plant cell by cell, leaving behind this trail of dead, discolored tissue that eventually leads to a total plant decline.
But what makes them absolutely terrifying is their explosive life cycle. Just look at this timeline. An egg is laid in warm, dry conditions. By day 4, a nymph hatches and starts feeding. And by day 7, that mite is already a fully reproducing adult. So they go from a single egg to a reproducing adult in just 1 week. That turns a small, practically invisible colony into a full-blown infestation before you even realize they're there.
Moving on to Section 2, spotting the enemy. Let's look at the visual evidence at the scene.
You're going to want to grab a magnifying glass for this, or try gently shaking a leaf over a crisp piece of white paper. You are looking for some very classic visual signs. The biggest red flag? Fine silky webbing, especially right where the leaf meets the stem. You should also look for stippling, which basically looks like thousands of tiny silvery white or yellow dots where the mites have been feeding. Over time, the leaves will just start to look dusty or totally bleached out. And if you look super closely, you might actually see the tiny moving dots themselves. They can be red, tan, black, or even translucent. Eventually, this all leads to weak, yellowing leaves that just completely dry up and fall off.
Section 3. Why are they here? Let's talk about the conditions that invite these mites indoors.
The absolutely crucial point here is understanding the kind of environment these pests love. Hot, dry, stagnant air, that is the #1 cause of an infestation. And it's incredibly common during the winter when we all have our indoor heating blasting. Another huge culprit, they frequently hitchhike right into your home on brand new, store-bought plants. Plus, if your plants are already stressed out from being underwatered, their weakened state makes them an incredibly easy, prime target for these opportunistic little arachnids.
All right, Section 4, your eradication battle plan. Here is your step-by-step treatment.
We've put together a strict 4-step battle plan to completely eliminate this threat. We're going to walk through isolation, manual removal, natural and organic treatments, and finally, chemical treatments for those really stubborn, worst-case scenarios.
Okay, step 1, and I literally cannot stress this enough. Isolate the plant immediately. This is mission critical. The very second you even suspect spider mites, get that plant far away from all the others in your collection. These guys spread so rapidly on simple air currents or just by leaves physically brushing up against one another. Quarantine is absolutely your first line of defense.
Step 2 is all about manual removal. Basically, blast them off. Take your quarantined plant straight to the sink or the shower and use a strong spray of lukewarm water to wash every single leaf and stem. Your goal here is to physically wash away the bulk of the population and their webbing. Make sure you get under the leaves and in all those little tiny nooks and crannies where the stems meet.
Next up for steps 3 and 4, you've got to treat the plant to kill any remaining mites and their unhatched eggs. You've got a couple of different options here. You can use natural insecticidal soaps that will gently suffocate the mites. Just make sure you spray the plant until it is literally dripping wet. On the flip side, you have chemical miticides.
Now, you really want to reserve these heavy-duty pesticides strictly for those extreme, stubborn infestations. They require extreme caution, you must follow the label directions perfectly, and they really should only be applied outdoors. Now, if you want a DIY organic route for step 3, a neem oil solution is a fantastic natural miticide. It actually disrupts their life cycle. So here's a super easy recipe for you. Mix 1 teaspoon of pure cold-pressed neem oil with half a teaspoon of mild dish soap. That's just going to act as an emulsifier, and mix it into 1 quart of warm water. Shake it up well, and remember to keep shaking that bottle frequently as you heavily coat every single plant surface top and bottom.
So let's talk timeline, because diligence is your absolute ultimate weapon here. Because of that rapid 1-week life cycle we talked about earlier, doing just 1 treatment is not gonna cut it. No way. You have to repeat these soap or neem oil treatments every 4 to 5 days for up to a whole month. This back-to-back treatment cycle is what guarantees you are catching and eliminating any newly hatched mites before they can reach adulthood and lay fresh eggs. Finally, Section 5, preventing future invasions by fortifying your defenses.
Once you've won the battle, proactive plant care is how you win the war. Spider mites absolutely hate moisture, so boosting your home's humidity is, hands down, the best preventative measure. Group your plants together, run a humidifier, or set up some pebble trays. Also, always quarantine any new plants for at least a month, and make a habit of wiping down your leaves weekly with a damp cloth to disrupt any budding mite populations, while keeping some gentle air circulation going so they don't get comfortable.
Also, you really need to keep your defenses high around notoriously susceptible plants. If you've got ficus trees like a fiddly fig, or tropical foliage like alocasias, caltheas, or crotons, or even climbers like English ivy, consider them very high risk. You need to be checking these specific species relentlessly for early signs of webbing or stippling.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to address a question that almost always pops up when people find a bug infestation in their home. Are spider mites harmful to me or my pets? Let's go ahead and bust a common myth that causes a lot of totally unnecessary panic.
So, the big myth is that these mites are going to jump off your plants and infest you, your pets, your carpets, your furniture, you name it. Well, take a deep breath, because the reality is exactly the opposite. Rest easy knowing these are strictly plant pests. They absolutely require live plant tissue to survive. They have zero interest in humans or animals, they can't bite you, they don't spread diseases, and they simply will not live for very long in your carpets or on your inanimate surfaces.
To pull this all together, I want to leave you with this core thought from our source material. Spider mites thrive in hot, dry conditions and reproduce at an alarming rate. Catching spider mites early is your best defense. The biggest takeaway from this explainer is just that. Maintain a humid environment, inspect your plants regularly, and catch those subtle signs early. That is exactly how you win.
So now that you're armed with the knowledge and the strategy, are you ready to take back your indoor jungle? But honestly, it does leave you wondering, the next time you walk past a plant and see a slightly yellowing leaf, are you just gonna walk by, or will you stop and look a little closer? Are your plants truly alone right now? Better grab that magnifying glass. Happy hunting!